Hey guys, pretty excited. Got the hard surface toolbox here. I'm literally working on this every day. I'm just going to scale this on the X. All right. And I can apply the scale, jump in, and grab this Control B to add a nice little bevel there. And then, of course, shade smooth and auto smooth. Now, there's a lot you can do with the functions that I've added. One of them is going to be a rotate. Control R, it's going to rotate that. Then Control Shift R is going to rotate that on 45-degree increments perfectly. All right, so that's going to be pretty useful. Now, remember, when you hit Apply Scale, it applies everything. It's an all transform, and so you don't have to worry about the rotations or anything like that. And then you can have the X, Y, and Z axis to use the toolet, which is like a automatic mirror symmetrize. Don't forget to check the auto mirror box until I make that automatic. And then if I click toolet, you can see it's going to pull that on the Z axis because that's where I have it. And if I switch it to the Y and toolet, then boom, you've got this neat little circle right here. Okay, well, it's like a square, right? So I'm going to go in here and just hit F to fill the face for now and bring that insert in. I'll bridge the edge loops. And then if you want to make some more unique shapes here, you can go ahead and bridge the edge loops here as well. And then that's kind of cool, but we could add a bevel to that so it looks really, really nice. A more hard surface look to it. Bring the segments up. And I'm still it's on the schedule. So I have a schedule of certain things I'm trying to update. Tonight's update was the rotation, the 45 and the 180 degrees. So that plus kind of tweaking the apply scale. Now from here, can harden the normals, sharp to arc, and then I'll turn off the clamp overlap. Don't ever use it if you can help it. That way you'll have a lot more control over your bevels. And I could probably bring this one a little bit bigger, something like that. Okay, so that looks nice. Now, the cool thing is that if you do the rotation, like you hit Control Shift R, and then you go ahead and say move this to the X axis. Don't forget to apply the scale, so that way it registers it, and then you can hit Tool It. And now you can make some pretty unique shapes that would be really hard to make otherwise. And so from here, you can move that back to the Y axis and tool it, and voila, you've got a pretty darn good beginning to a hard surface model of something. And so this would give you kind of a jump into the abstract and machine parts and things like that. Then if you wanted to, say, take this ring, maybe the first two, minus that first one. And I'm just selecting little bits and pieces here. And then I'll hit the select edge loops. It'll grab all that. And I can go ahead and bevel that. But I'll bring the segment count down to 1. And then I can extrude that along normals. Hold down Shift. Kind of bring that in just a touch. And add something like that. And did it come out good? Got changed the bevel just a little bit. So 0.002 should look pretty decent. It's not bad. All right, that looks good. Now the level here, you would want to maybe select these manually down here, because if you take this, apply it, go to the Z and tool it, you'll now have that same level because it is in essence a symmetrize operation. And so you're going to get the exact same thing at the bottom. So if you don't want that, then you could go in, and select these edges as well, and then do them all at the same time. So to have modeled out something like this, and it's not even really, it's not an incredible amount of detail. Let's hit Control Shift R and reset that. I'll apply the scale, which is an all transform, don't forget. And then if I hit 3, let's see, should be this side, but I'm just going to double check. So if I extrude that and kind of scale it down, and then I'll go ahead and tool it. yeah, so that's good. That looks good. So you can go ahead and add extra details that way. And just remember, far as this is going from Y positive to Y negative when you hit tool it. And then if I was to Control Shift R a couple times, and let's see, how do I want to do this? Because I know I can make this work. Yeah, okay, so this needs to be on a 45. So I'm going to rotate that on a 45, apply scale, tool it, which will bring this to these sides. And so now go Control R, flip it to that side, apply scale, and tool it. There we go. So that's an easy way to get all four of those on very hard to work with abstract objects. The 45-degree angle is going to allow you to kind of cut your mesh at a sideways. It's kind of a side glance. And then these two pieces are now perfectly placed over here. And so you've got that symmetry. And yeah, so it's pretty endless. You could just kind of come through here and maybe make another bridge right here, and then you can kind of throw that around as well. And just, all right, so there we go. You just gotta flip it back and forth and make sure you stay on the right axis, and then switch the axis here. So though it's a little complex in the beginning, I think this is probably the hardest thing you would learn in the add-on is the axis here. And so this is another one. I can actually go ahead and 45 that, apply it, and let's see, I'd want to hit this one on the Y and then tool it. And now I've got these two here. That's where they're at. And so I should be able and what I'll actually do is I'll just rotate this with Control R, bring those over here, apply, go back to Y and or X, and tool it. There we go. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of fresh for me too. I just made this addition, and so it's not too hard to work with. I figured it out in just a couple minutes. And so if you got any questions, hit me up in the comments below. And I think this is really going to shoot you off in a different direction, you know, for hard surface modeling that you weren't able to do before, that took a lot of handwork. And so you're going to be able to eliminate that handwork very cleanly now and get some very abstract objects and some twists and turns done in a very, very clean manner. So I really appreciate everybody watching, and I'm going to do more tutorials on this, especially as things grow. Don't forget, you can check your face orientation and a number of different things you can show in front. Remove those nasty grid lines while you're working. So if you don't have the grid lines and the access points going directly through your mesh. And then if you were to Shift D, this right here, and you turn off the in front, you'll be able to see your selected object. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. All right, appreciate everybody watching. This is going to be on the Gumroad. It's going to be on the Blender Market. I'll put that on there tonight. And don't forget to smash that subscribe and smash that like button on the way out. See you guys in the next tutorial lesson.